In the Mario series, there are some interesting enemies, and a lot of them would actually be a nightmare to be around. They would ruin your life. So today we're going to take a look at the top 10 enemies that would absolutely destroy your day-to-day activities. Number 10. Now there's one enemy that just walks around a bit and doesn't actively try to attack you. However, as soon as you try to do anything with it, it will end in pain and trouble. The Spiny, a being that's essentially a deformed turtle that has more in common with a steel-spiked club than the reptile it was based on. They are often thrown by Lakitus in unlimited supplies, but can also be found walking around on their own. Now, like I said before, they don't try to hurt you on purpose, but the top of their shell is completely untouchable. Can you even imagine walking around in your house and stepping on one of these? Believe me, a Lego brick is nothing compared to it. This enemy is literally the Mario equivalent of a landmine, and in real life, this could be a million times worse. Even if the Spinies try to be nice, they're still a hazard. It will never work out. One thing has to go wrong, and whoops, you're impaled. There's a reason why most people own a dog or a cat. You can cuddle them because they're soft, while something like this is similar to hugging a cactus. Number 9. Now, having someone around with positive energy is always a good thing. Everyone they encounter will be pumped. However, you can also go too far, and the bob-omb with its literal, explosive energy is overkill for sure. They are living, moving mechanical bombs with eyes, feet, and a wind-up key on the back. They are seen in a ton of games, but they're a bit tricky to deal with, because sometimes they're your friend, and other times they will show off their, let's say, explosive side. They will flash red and sometimes make beeping noises before exploding right in your face. Believe me, you don't make a lot of friends this way. In the Paper Mario series, they're seen going around the town and everything seems to be fine. But still, that danger is always there. It's certainly an enemy that would put you on edge in real life, and how the cops would react to this will be especially interesting. And at the airport, these guys would create the biggest problem ever. It already takes ages to go through, and this doesn't make it any better. Number 8. Now on my downtime when I'm not typing or voicing scripts on the YouTubes, I like to be outside and do stuff like gardening. However, there's one enemy in the Mario world that would ruin that hobby right away, and probably my whole life, to be honest. The Piranha Plants. They are carnivores and are seemingly based on Venus flytraps, eating anything that approaches them. Now, funny enough, I had one of those Venus flytraps before. It looked quite cool, but I kind of killed it on accident? But that doesn't matter right now. What it comes down to is that this bigger version would be a nightmare in real life. It's epic, just like the Venus flytrap, but this time actually deadly. If these things were found in the wild, I would certainly give up my gardening hobby. And also suffer from a lot of diseases because I would never go outside anymore. Clearly, this would be a disaster for everyone, me included. Real life would become even less attractive compared to the virtual world, which it already kind of is. So yeah, I think a lot of us could have seen this coming. A Venus flytrap Hulk Hogan crossover will be terrible in everyday life.
Do you know what makes this different than any other pack in the world, Jack?
Number 7. Throughout your life, you will encounter all kinds of people that are complete what was that?
The gravitational pull of
No, it wasn't. That was a freaking wrench, giving me a concussion. And that's why the rocky wrenches would be hell on earth. Everywhere you go, it will pop out of nowhere and throw chunks of steel to your skull in order to split it like a coconut. They're essentially the guy that always throws stuff at random people off screen, taking them out in one go. Cue the example meme. The rocky wrenches are like that the entire time you're around them. Who wants that in their life? Let's be real here. The only way to survive the world that way is by either always wearing a helmet or by perfect dodging like Link in Breath of the Wild. One thing is sure though, life would become a lot harder all of a sudden. Number 6. We all have that one friend that hates to do any type of outdoors activity or sport. And with him, you also get a friend that's the exact opposite. The person that only wants to do the sports. And of course, there is a Mario enemy that's exactly that friend. The Charging Chuck. A classic American football-styled bulk of muscles that only wants to go, go, go and nothing else. It's terrible. Every time you want to just chill, these guys will start pushing you to become active and energized. Gross. And even if you don't know them, then they will still make the park a lot less enjoyable. Constantly running around, getting in your way. The park would become a trap instantly, and the gear they wear makes it even more painful to be bodied out of nowhere. Number 5. If you have ever lived in a city, then you will understand that bumping into people is a daily thing and it can drive you nuts. And of course, the Mario series has one enemy that does exactly that. Bump into you on purpose every time it even feels your presence. The bully. Their name is extremely fitting for their behavior because all they do and want to do is annoy you in every way possible. Especially in Lethal Lava Land, they can be a hell to deal with. And in real life, this would be even worse. Just imagine the following. You're walking on the streets on a rainy day, and a car is approaching you. Next to you is a huge puddle, so you get out of the way. But now the bully comes in, pushes you to the side, and the car drives through the puddle, turning you into the human equivalent of a swimming pool. Another good example is your average summer day. You're standing there with ice cream, and he knocks it out of your hand. Your day is ruined. Whatever you do, they will try to bother you in every way possible. And it's like being stuck in a convention center forever, bumping into them again and again and again. Number 4. Now some people are naturally shy, which is fine, but becoming invisible because you're so extremely afraid is certainly overkill. And the boo does exactly that. You can't even talk to them, which is incredibly inconvenient. And if you actually need something from them, you might as well give up right away. It's just like a spider, but this time based around the scale of awkward. They are just as freaked out and uncomfortable as you. So both parties lose here. Every time you encounter one of them, they will make your life extra difficult because they don't respond. They even leave. Well, physically at least. And for them, it's the most weird experience ever. One thing I always wondered though, what's going on in their head when that happens? Yeah, that seems quite fitting, I think. So luckily enough, with this enemy, both of us are suffering. Equality, ladies and gentlemen. Luckily enough, ghosts don't exist, so we don't have anything close to this. Well, introverts, but that's fine. They won't disappear at least. Number 3. Some people can be ice cold. They won't help you with anything, and even try to make things worse. One of those enemies is the Thwomp. They are lifeless and as mean as you can get them. Just look at their face! If you see something like this from a distance, you would already turn around. And if your ears function, then you could already hear the loud bangs, which is more than enough for most people to just go. If that thing crushes you, it's more than just game over. That's for sure. I think a big part of the world would just stop functioning if these were all around the place. One traffic stop in the wrong place would already mean destruction and bad times for sure. The world would become a lot more dangerous. The life of a pedestrian would go from this to this. As you can imagine, this wouldn't be an improvement to life. As they would say, one step up, and then you fall off the stairs because life is horrible now. This isn't an improvement, you're at the bottom, this is just terrible. Number 2. At some point in Nintendo's history, they left the 2D formula behind in favor of the 3D one. However, luckily enough, it returned. The new Super Mario Bros. Games picked up where the old ones essentially quit. But one weird little enemy was added. Nabbit, the filthy thief that takes all your belongings as soon as you turn around to give him a drink. He's for sure the worst party guest. He mostly runs around the world going from toad house to toad house, stealing everything and causing a whole lot of trouble. It would be terrible to have this hyperactive purple blob running around taking your kids, wife, cookies, ice cream and maybe even Switch.
He's climbing in your windows, he's snatching your people up, so y'all need to hide your kids, hide your wife.
And the worst thing is, no matter what you tell him, he doesn't care. Mario and the others even have to bombard him with shells in order to get him. Number 1. Now, Super Mario Sunshine is one of my favorite Mario games of all time. Only recently it was beaten by Super Mario Odyssey because it was a little bit better. However, there's one enemy in Sunshine that's extremely cute, isn't evil at all, but still hurts you in every way possible and makes your life a living hell. The Chain Chomplets. They're essentially the puppy version of the Chain Chomp and are only really seen in one mission in the game. Now, the biggest problem with them is their, fiery personality. They, for some reason, burst into flames like a Kaioken Goku on planet Namek. They're like a dog and seem like a friendly bunch, but this one trait just ruins everything. They're too sensitive, and even if you give them a doghouse, it will go up in flames. Even the Piantas realize that they are a pain to take care of. Just ask one of the locals and you will notice instantly. As they would say, mistakes were made, and the whole town is completely in ruins. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to watch more videos, click the annotations on the screen and stuff and subscribe. I have jet lag because I came back from PAX East yesterday, which is in Boston. 6-hour time difference. I am feeling a bit drowsy. I hope the voiceover was still good. I love you all. Lots of kisses.